Hi guys and welcome to this Transformers review. This is the PP05M Medical Specialist by IGEAR. This is obviously their take on a masterpiece size Ratchet, and the reason that I am bringing you this review now instead of when I had it a few months ago is they have recently released their PP05P, which is Patrol Specialist, and that's Tote. It's basically Ironhide, just they brought out another head, and he has a lower price than the previous retail value because it doesn't come with the whole bunch of accessories that these do. The only accessories it comes with are the heads and that gun right there. So whether or not they're going to re-release the Ratchet and bring us someone else or not, I'm not sure. I do believe that there was actually an ambulance minivan in the protectobots, so maybe they could do that. Obviously they can't do the combiner, but they could just bring him out as him. I can't remember his name right now, but I'll put it in the description for you. So first, just a quick look at the box. Pretty awesomely detailed images of medical specialists right here, but I'll call him Ratchet for now. Now here's everything that he comes with. So obviously you get an array of weapons and equipment for him to use, and a nice, interesting bio, let's say. I really do like bios from third-party companies when they come up with their own stories of how the Transformers came about. So I'm just going to bring it round for you to read if you want to pause it. There you go. And carry on going round. You just got medical specialist there. You got warning! Warning! And then boring top. So let's go ahead and take a look at the accessories that you get with this thing. So accessories come in a nice sealed bag. First of all, as everything flops out, and this is stuck to some sellotape, you get some nice instructions. So here's other things that you can get from IGEAR, most notably UFO is probably the most famous there. And if you want to see reviews for these guys, you can check out a hell of a lot of reviewers, like MGO. I know he collects these IGEAR little mini warriors. But anyway, on the other side, warning! And some pretty nice instructions there, partly in colour. And they do actually relate very well. There's only one step that they miss, and to be quite honest, you're probably not going to want to do that step. I will show you. When I come to the transformation, you'll know what I mean. I really do like these collector cards from third-party companies, and this one is probably the best. I mean, size-wise, I think it's a little bit smaller than what you'd normally get from someone like Fans Project, but it is very nice nonetheless. Nice text specs and nice image there, nice thickness and feel and everything. It's really nice. So you get one of them, and now out of the packaging you have a really nice double stacked set of packaging, but medical specialist is gone. So as you can see in the top layer, we've just got a roof to medical specialist, just to keep it in place. And then we have these accessories here. So I'm going to go through them one by one just real quick, and then we'll get onto the other clamshell. So we have a little visor here, another wrench, a massive hammer, for some reason it decided to be Thor, a straight head screwdriver, a Phillips screwdriver, and some kind of instrument for beating the crap out of Decepticons. He also comes with another head. Just get that in focus. I'll show it off more when he's in his robot mode. And he comes with two of these welding apparatus that replace his hands in robot mode. So, quite a nice touch. And so in the next layer, we have another little piece that's here for protection. If we just remove that. First of all, in these, we have this really nice combat knife. We also have a little communications antenna dish array thingamajigger. Satellite, that's the word I was looking for, satellite. And then you get this weapon, which is an ode to G1 basically. It's for those who are old enough to have the Generation 1 toys, you'll know that this came with Generation 1 Ratchet and Ironhide. We have these really shiny chrome saws which spin very well, very nice. So you have two of those obviously. You get this massive rocket launcher which is awesome. You get a massive sniper rifle which is awesome. You can move the you can basically turn the barrel and you can just pull this up and down if you want to. So yeah, pretty big sniper rifle there. That's got to be the biggest transform weapon I have, except for the BFG for the Ultra Magnus from Fans Project, and then we have the second saw. Bit of tissue that sits around Medical Specialist, which is very nice to have, nice and protected. And then another head, so if I just focus again, there's that guy. So, in moving all that packaging out of the way, and I've got to say, packaging very, very nice. This is everything that you get. So, you're getting a hell of a lot of stuff with this pack. Yeah, basically, you don't get any of that if you get the reissue version, which is Tote, which obviously isn't. This is the reissue of Ironhide, but basically you can say goodbye to everything here except for spare heads. You'll obviously get the Tote head, and then you'll have this weapon, which is currently stored on the underside of the Medical Specialist, which I'll just take off now. So you get this gun, which just folds out, and there you go. So that is what you get with the reissue, and then you get all of this fun stuff if you go for the older version, which is why I really do think that as a collector there's so much for you to like here. You can put him in so much more dioramas and such, because that's one thing I really do like about Medical Specialist, and it's the reason why I only bought Medical Specialist instead of having them both. It's because with this guy you're getting guns. I mean, you're getting big rocket launchers and sniper rifles and guns. You can't hold them all at the same time anyway. And I like that gun the best anyway, so you know I only need that really. But you get all this medical equipment. So if you want, for example, MP10 displayed in his trailer being repaired, you can have Medical Specialist repairing Optimus Prime, helping him with some of these hammers and wrenches. So really, really nice playability with it as well. You know, I'm guessing that 90% of people don't play with third-party stuff. It's quite expensive to be playing around with, but very nice nonetheless. And without further ado, here is Medical Specialist himself. And I gotta say, I absolutely adore this thing. It's, aside from MP10, my favourite Transformer. Third-party companies sometimes don't come through at all, and sometimes give you something special that's going to be better than anything that Hasbro or Takara can produce, and I think that that's what you're getting here. Even if mold-wise they come out with a better masterpiece version of this style minivan, so you get an Ironhide, Medical Specialist, maybe a repaint for Tote, and maybe a repaint for the protectobot and whatever. I think that this will always be the best in collector's eyes, because it's the first time that you've seen this accurate Generation 1 version of this vehicle since Generation 1. So finally it's actually taken a third-party company to come along and say, hey, one of the most popular Transformers ever, we're actually going to be the ones to give the people what they want, basically. And they really do deliver. Detail-wise, also the reason I got this instead of Ironhide was you're getting the lights, you're getting the word ambulance there, the stripes there on both, so it doesn't really matter. And you're getting that really nice medical symbol, which actually has, if I just focus in close, it has the crest in the middle there for the Autobot logo, which is really nice. So you can whack a sticker in there if you want to. Nice silver detail on the number plate there, or the number plate area should I say, and on those mirrors there, really nice. Rubber tyres. Here you can see the only die-cast part in there. Well, I guess you could say the pins and the screws and what have you, but there you go. Nice chrome grille, bumper, lights. Very nice. You have a very nice molded interior in there, seats and everything. Sort of design of a half-open window there. Very nice reversed ambulance. That's actually reversed on the figure as well. That's not just what my camera's doing, that's actually on the figure. So very nice. Size comparison wise, let's bring in MP10 here. So if you want to get this guy for a masterpiece display, which I would highly recommend, as you can see, perfectly in scale. Also, if you want to display him with some of your classics such as Bumblebee, also perfectly in scale. They all look great together. There's only one more thing really to show you in vehicle mode before I get to transformation, and that is this gun. So you fold it up like so, and then there's that little hole in there, and that just slots in. If I can stop being retarded, there we go. So that just slots in there, tucks away, very nice. So if I just yank this out of there, I can get onto transforming this guy. So what you want to do first is just open up these back panels. Basically the back half of him are his legs. So what you also want to do now is just basically just take everything on the back and just split it. So split the top in half, bring it back, and then you can see his arms are in there. So you want to uncouple this from the sides like so, and bring it back and slide that top over the arms, and it's on a hinge down here. So just bring that down. You can split the legs apart at this point and take those up. So what you're going to do now is, if I can just separate the legs so you can see, right in there where the knee joint would be, inside there you can see that black piece there is a hinge. So what you want to do is just pull on that hinge and move it out like so. So I'm just going to do that to both, just so that they're open and out of the way. So what we're going to do now is this piece, which you do have to be careful of because that plastic rod isn't the strongest, I must say, and it's got a little ball jointed flap, and what you want to do is just bring the flap under the leg and round. You're going to fully straighten the leg, bring out the foot. This die-cast piece is the heel spur, and you're going to bring this down for now and rotate it and leave it up. Now you can see this cavity here. What you're going to do is bring that in and have that rod in there like so, and then that just tabs in place. Then by pushing on the rod, that sits neatly against the back, and then you just do the same with the other leg. So just flipping that round, bringing that underneath the crotch like so, fully straighten out the leg, bring the foot out, get the heel spur where you need it to be, rotate, bring it out through that little gap, peg it in, and then push this down into place. And there you have the legs basically done. You can have these kneecaps up or down, do whatever you want. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to remove this just for now and bring that up. I'm just going to straighten out these legs a little bit here, so bring these down and then that'll connect into place like so. So now it's starting to look like a pretty average transformer. So what we're going to do is untab these sides here like so and bring them up. And if you have 8 Generations Hotspot or Solar Storm Grapple or so on. These are tabbed in quite tight and I don't want to break it, so I'm just being very gentle in untabbing these. Just there we go, because they're not actually on, if I just focus in there, they're actually on like a sort of T little tab there, so it's quite stiff and very thin, so you do have to be quite careful if you've pushed that in quite tight like I did. At this point you can go ahead and just fold in the tyres there. If you haven't done that already, you can do it at the start, it doesn't matter when you do. I'll bring them in so I've got some space. And then put that down. Okay, so now what you're going to want to do is this whole top section above the grill, you're going to want to just rotate that all the way around. Leave these little windows open for the minute. Windows? I mean mirrors, of course. So, once that's fully rotated, if it will rotate the rest, there we go. You're going to bring the arms out, then close these mirrors, just hold them in. These bits on the top, rotate around and go over the back, and that's exactly what the Generations Hotspot and Surfstorm grapple is going to look like, and also Inferno, that's the original version of it. So really good fond memories of those there. And now onto the part where not a lot of people like doing. You can leave him like that and have this out here, or you can have a very nice V-taper if you bring that in. Now to do so, it requires a little faith in the plastic. So you untab, and then as you can see here, it's on a hinge. So it hinges back like so. Now you just gotta trust it and it will go. Like that, see? Just fold it, trust it, and it will go. I'm doing this extremely carefully. And I mean extremely carefully. You have to, actually it might actually be easier if I do that. Yeah, there we go. It's much easier if you do it like that. Yeah, I mean it's easier to get in there. It's a lot more nerve-wracking to get it out. A lot of people have said that you can stress the plastic on the hinge in there. I don't have any plastic strain or anything anywhere throughout this entire figure, so I'm not just going to go ahead and say that that theory is false, but I don't have any problems. So, carrying on, you bring the arms out, down and in. You want to keep those screws on the inside, and however you had the hands turned, you just turn them around, bring this back and bring the head up, lock that into position, bring this back, and then there's this post goes into this hole right here, and the instructions at this point tell you to split this back piece, and what that does is just that. Why on earth you'd want that, apart from the fact that it's got another hole in there, so maybe you could carry one of his weapons, you know, if you want that sticking out of his back, then you can. So if you want artillery Ratchet, if you want artillery Ratchet like that, then you can, but other than that it's not really useful for this figure. I think the Ironhide comes with something that you can use. I'm not sure if it just sits on his shoulder or if you do clip it into that back piece there. I really can't remember. And now here's Medical Specialist in robot mode, and to start off with, as you can see, we're going to do a quick size comparison here. So there's Medical Specialist and there's MP10 Optimus Prime, so perfect, absolutely perfect masterpiece ratio. You could say he's meant to be about there, just up to the top of that grill, but he's about halfway up at the moment, so perfectly fine. You know, you can't be too critical of transformer sizes. They're never going to be perfect, especially when you got two different lines here. So really nice scaling. I really do like it, and that's not all for good scaling, because there's the Classics Bumblebee, and I'll just move it back a little bit so you got a better side to side comparison, but absolutely great. A mini bot next to a fairly large G1 transformer. Absolutely great scaling again. So they really have got it right here. So as an overall size comparison, it gets a thumbs up from me. It fits great with your classics and with your masterpiece transformers. So what more can you want from a Transformers display? So for articulation, ball jointed head, up and down just a tad, left and right on a rocker just a tad, but then actual left and right movement, very nice. Arms at the shoulders, he moves all the way around 360 degrees. These flaps can move to allow for more articulation, I guess, and they don't ruin the look of him too much. It looks quite nice still. From the back it looks perfectly fine. From the front, silhouette wise, because they're behind the arms, it looks perfectly fine. Sideways, perfectly fine again. You know, nothing too terribly bad with the backpack or anything. Very nice. Double jointed elbow, and he has wrist articulation. Moves at 2 points on the waist, in fact 3 points, because you got this as well. So you've got the upper torso movement, then you have a joint above the hinge here, which you can see moving there. It does move a little bit more, but because I got these door panels there, it doesn't move as much. With the door panels out at the waist, it can move around a bit more. But then you have that hinge movement there as well. So you got 1, 2 and 3, so that's very nice. These flaps move up out the way to allow the legs to go wherever you want them to go. They're on a ball joint there. He has single jointed knees. They get slightly hindered by this, but you don't need much more articulation than that. Heel spur moves forward and back, and then you have feet on a really nice, what feels like a ball, yeah, it's a ball joint. So very nice. You get ankle pivot up and down, left and right, very nice. Once I got him close up here, let's take a look at that head. Very nice head sculpt. Perfect Generation 1 Ratchet head sculpt there. You also get this one from the comics. I think this is the original from the comics, possibly. And then you get this red one, which I think is the modern version of Ratchet from the comics. So you've got the same actual face there, but you've got a different head. And the blue eyes are a dark blue, whereas in the other two, they are that light blue. And light piping, you can see it working pretty good. I mean, normally with light piping, when you cover up the back, they stop glowing. But because these eyes here are already really light blue, they're already lighting up pretty nice. So it doesn't need it too much, but it is clear. It's not blue plastic that goes all the way through, so it looks perfectly fine. It looks a little bit worse on the Ironhide version because his head's not white, so the clear obviously looks a bit off there, but here looks perfectly great. So moving on to the chest, very nice windscreen there, iconic. You got the nice window wipers and everything there, but also this is what I really like. This is where the Autobot symbol should be, and they have actually left you a gap, just like they did down here. You can go and get a Repro Labels Autobot logo and whack that on there, so very nice. Accessory wise, he can hold absolutely everything that he comes with perfectly fine. So let's go ahead and take a look at the weapons first. They just slot into his hand very well. The only problem I have with this is that if you look at the card, it's silver, and here they've given you a black one. Nothing too bad, but it would have been nice to have the silver one. Combat, I mean, they've made that silver, so why they couldn't do the gun? It's not like they haven't used that paint at all. Very nice combat knife. It's got quite sharp teeth on the back, and ow, a very sharp point there. Wasn't quite expecting that. And then you have all of these hand tools. So you got, they all fit in the hand exactly the same, so I'm only going to show you a couple of them. But there's the hammer, and there is one of the wrenches. So very, very nice. If we look at the head now, this is where a lot of people make mistakes. This is the visor, and a lot of people put it on that way, so it completely covers his face, thinking that's how it works. It actually isn't. This bit, a lot like Dragon Ball, covers the eye. So what you have to do is this splits in half. So you put it around the head, like so. You put one side on, so you can't see that. You get one side and put it on, just hold it in place. Then you get the other side and just push it on the other side of its head. Push the two halves together, like so, and then it's that simple. And then well, just move it up a little bit so it's over his eye. But then you have a really, really nice little touch, and being a Dragon Ball Z fan, I find that really, really awesome. So yeah, he's got a little targeting computer for the missile launcher. So if we just take that off. Speaking of the missile launcher, whack that in his hand there. Can rest that on his shoulder. Looking very, very cool. And sniper rifle. It has a little articulated handle on there. It's on a ball joint, and then he has the main handle there, so he can hold that with two hands. I'm not going to show it off because you know what it looks like. I don't need to show off everything. And what the hell, that was a nice squeaky little joint there. So moving on to these saws then, what you have to do to attach these is actually detach it like so, leaving a peg. Push that into his hand from the underside, like so, and then attach the top piece so that you create this saw in his arm. You're actually covering up his hand, so it actually looks like his arm has actually just become the saw, which is very, very cool. And then to detach that, you take the top piece off, pull the bottom bit out of his hand, and then there you go. And that is exactly the same for these welding tool thingamajiggies. So apart from that, that is absolutely everything that you get. You're getting screwdrivers and things. Obviously you've got the Generation 1 gun. There's only one more thing to show off accessory wise that's actually different, and that is his little radar. So this attaches onto his arm just like so, and then he can communicate and what have you. You also have it on the other side, and if you open the flaps up, he actually has a little control panel in here. So very, very nice silver painted buttons, and you can actually get from Reaper labels on this little square panel there pictures of like Bumblebee and Prime and so on, so you can have them talking to people, and it opens up on the other side too for that hole, and that is for that Generation 1 weapon. So you just put that in there like so, and then Bob's your uncle. He has a very nice Generation 1 gun rammed into his arm. Now the only thing left that I'm going to talk about is the price and the plastic quality. So quality first. With third-party products, normally they're a bit so-so. You can normally feel that they're quite light, quite hollow, maybe sharp edges, really tight tolerances. You can always tell, especially with fans project stuff, as great as it is, you can always tell that it's a third-party product. But with this, I'm not going to say it's heavy. I mean, it only has that little bit of die-cast in it, but it doesn't feel hollow. You can feel some weight. It feels like it's from Hasbro. It really does. Well, maybe Takara with the chrome, but it does feel like an official product. It's perfect size for Masterpiece. I don't actually have Sideswipe or Red Alert to compare them to, but they are only a tad smaller than this guy. He's literally like half a head bigger. They come up to about the crest, the bottom of that crest. So perfectly scaled and great plastic quality. So if you want a masterpiece Ratchet, or Ironhide if you want to go for the weapon specialist, then literally you have the perfect thing right here. So the only other reason that you might not want to get this is price. Now obviously this set with the accessories is a little older now, so if you want to find it, you got to wait until it's restocked in TF Source or something, or maybe go on eBay or go to a BotCon or something, which is just past last week, and try and find one that people are selling there. Now what I would suggest to do, I guess, is just to get this guy, because the accessories really do help, because you get all the medical tools and everything if you're going to do a diorama. And I would also suggest then to just not get the Ironhide. If you really want it, then go ahead and get it. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wait for an official release, so that I'm not having 2 Ratchets and 2 Ironhides. And I know that they are the same vehicle, and they're meant to be the same, and I do like repaints, I have repaints, but I would prefer to have at least masterpiece quality 2 completely different figures in my cabinet, and not 2 of the exact same. I know you get a different head and everything, but I think that this one is superior to the Ironhide. So at least if you're just going to get one of these guys like I have, get this. I was actually going to get Ironhide first, but he was out of stock on TF Source, and when they were restocked, it's this guy that came out first, and I just decided I'm just going to get this. To me, the white and the red looks great. It's extremely accurate, and then you've obviously got extra detail with the ambulance stuff and the lights and these crosses and everything. And I do like the head a lot better than Ironhide's, to be honest, so it just made me want to get this version more. Now the Ironhide, I'm not going to say anything's wrong with it, but it's got a lot of black in this area. It could do with a bit more red, or having some silver detail in there and everything. It has the same silver patches there, but in here it needs detail because it just makes it look so bland and dark. The red's a great shade of red, but the black just doesn't really work for it for me, I don't think, in that chest, well, the ab area. So there's the recommendation. If you're going to buy one or the other, yeah, if you don't like Ratchet, then obviously you're not going to get this, but if you are torn between the 2, I'd definitely say get this one. The equipment that comes with it, much better than the equipment with Ironhide, and for me, you're actually getting more from this figure. So that's it from this review, guys. Price, great. Plastic quality, great. Size, great. Everything is great about this guy. So there is absolutely no reason whatsoever as to why you should not pick this guy up. You can go ahead and get it from Kapow, TF Source, wherever you can, but keep it in mind that you may have to wait for a restock or something like that, because this is the older version. If you want to get the reissue Ironhide, which is technically Tote, the patrol specialist, not weapons specialist, patrol specialist, you can get that from TF Source and wherever. And also, if you are interested in Fans Project, go ahead and click up here. I'll take you to my Bruticus video, and click over here to subscribe to see when I have the new Stunticons, because I do have them on order from Kapow, but they're on the same order. So Last Chance and Downforce will get to me at the same time, and they're expected now, basically. Please remember to give me a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.